Hi, I'm Mark Watson. I'm product manager of Cincinnati Software Products, and this is Machine Help. This week's question is, how do I adjust the crowning on Cincinnati's MaxForm machine and also machines where Cincinnati has a crownable filler block on the machine? Here, let me start first here on a machine where we've got a crownable filler block first. And from our run edit screen, let's now go to the RAM screen. And on the RAM screen, you'll see in the lower left-hand corner, programmable crown. Well, that programmable crown that's going to be established is based on the tool choice that you have, the bend length of your part, and the material thickness. So let's go back to the run edit screen and let's give this an example. Let's say we're going to bend a 1/4 inch material. We're going to put a pretty good deflection in the RAM on this. So we're going to respond to that with our crowning. And then let's say we're going to do a 144-inch length part, and I'm going to choose to even exaggerate this a little bit. And instead of using an 8 times material thickness V opening, which would be a 2-inch V, I'm gonna use an 1.5 inch V opening to really run the tonnage up. And I'm going to auto calculate that and say that I want 144 inches of tooling there. Okay. And on my upper tool, I'm just going to choose a punch whose radius would be something that we would use with bending 1/4 inch material, something like an 1/8 inch or greater. And here I'll just use this punch right here, and then go in with 144 inches of tooling there. And we have to put in our bend length. Okay, so I'm going to put in the bend length on our run edit screen for 144 inches. And then now going back to the programmable crown, what I can do now is take a look at that, and you can see what we're doing is we're finding that the calculated crown would be 63,000. So I'm going to accept that and now enter that into our crowning for this step. Other steps may be the same length, material thickness, and tonnage, or they may be different, and you can change your crown from step to step on this type of machine with a crownable filler block. Now let's move to another example. I'm actually going to change machines from this AFX machine with the crownable filler block. I'm going to change the configuration, and I'm going to go to a MaxForm machine, which has programmable auto crown. Okay, that's Cincinnati's hydraulic responsive crowning. And the MaxForm happens to have the ability to adjust that. And in this case, my software shuts down and it comes back up in the new configuration of that MaxForm. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with just clear the decks and go to my run edit screen. So I've got no parts in this at this point. And now let's go to the RAM page again. And you can see over in the lower left-hand corner where there had been a box for filling in and manipulating the CNC crowning. This machine doesn't have that. Now I have an auto crown adjustment that is located here in the middle of the screen down at the bottom. And what we can do now is we can change the hydraulic responsive pressure from the 1-to-1 relationship that we have on on standard auto crown machines that don't have the programmable feature to one now where we can either reduce the tonnage. Okay, we can reduce the tonnage that's on that cylinder by a proportion, or we can actually increase the tonnage beyond what other auto crown systems would have, up to a point where we can really get about 1/3 more tonnage. And where we see this being a real benefit, let's say you're using a less than recommended V-die opening. Very similar to what I had done to exaggerate the system with the last CNC wedge type crowning. Let's say we use a 6 times material thickness V opening on 1/4 inch material, which we typically probably aren't going to recommend. We're going to say at 8 times, but let's say you go to 6 times. On traditional auto crown machines that are hydraulically responsive, on a 1-to-1 relationship, we're going to get more tonnage bending that part and get more crowning, very likely more crowning than we would need with that 1.5 V on 1/4 inch. And in this case, what we might do is we might say on the Maxform, hey, let's just go down to 0.8. Let's take 80% of the crowning we would get if we were going to use a V die like that. So you can reduce it like that, or if you're doing something where you know you need much more crowning, where you've really run your tonnage through through the roof, or found a way that you process that works for you, but you see things still deflecting in the middle when you're at a 1-to-1, you can increase that. Now let's say 1.2, I want to add 20% more crowning than we would have gotten with just the standard system. And that's one of the really nice advantages of the Maxform, that you can do that, and you can do it differently from stroke to stroke, just like on the CNC crowning that I showed you before. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more machine help content. See you next time.